Let's play Codewars. So this is Kata, which is a level at Codewars that's called Mumbling. So the instructions read as follows. This time no story, no theory, which may be a good thing, straight to the point. The examples below show you how to write a function accum. So examples. Oh, I like this. So we are just given the examples and we'll need to figure out how to implement it from the examples. Some real-world cases are like this. Sometimes you need to figure out something that you don't know only by looking at some examples. Pretty much whole AI or machine learning is based on that nowadays, but that's a whole another story. So let's see. So ABCD would be A, BB, CCC, DDDD with all caps on the first letters of the words and concatenating with hyphens. So let's see. This has capital letters in it too. Those stay as capital letters and then the same thing. So each character is just repeated as many times as what's their index in the word. Right. The parameter of accum is a string which only includes letters from A to Z and capital A to C. Okay, fair enough. So let's see what we can do. So we are given a string. I suppose I immediately see a list, like doing the reverse thinking, right? So to get this format, I would need a list of A, and then BB, and then CCC, and then DDDD. And then I can join them with a hyphen, right? So this is kind of the last step I will be making. But to get a list of characters, or an array of characters, coming up from the other end again, I think I would first need to split the string to get to the array format. So s.split, and let's split with the empty character, or empty string, sorry, to get out the characters. And then we have the map function. So map function is convenient because it also keeps track of the index in the array. So we have the character, and then we get the index of the character. And with these two things, we can compute that how many times we'll need to repeat the character, right? So first I would do, well, there are a couple of ways I'm thinking about this. So either well, let's take the DDDD, for example. So either I'm repeating D 4 times, and then I'm capitalizing the first letter, or I am taking one capital letter of the character, and then I'm repeating it like 4 minus 1 times, and then concatenating it. And I think in JavaScript land, I'm going to go with the latter. So that means that we'll first take the capital letter, so that would be car dot to uppercase, right? And then we're going to concatenate into that the character repeated index times. So the index will be starting from 0. So with the A, we're going to repeat it 0 times. So that's an empty string. Then with B, we're going to repeat it 1 time. with C 2 times and with D 3 times. So index times. And I suppose there's no convenient way to repeat characters in JavaScript. So I suppose I'm going to go a little tricky here. Let me open up the console. So I'm thinking about two ways to do this. First being that I could create an empty array. So new array with a length of, for example, 5. So then I get the array with 5 empty slots, and then I can fill it with any character I like. So for example, C. That gives me an array of 5 Cs. So there I can provide the number of items I want, and then the character I want to fill it with. And then when I join it with an empty string, I get n times of the character I passed in. Another way of doing this would be that I get an empty string, and then it has the pad start or pad end, which takes, I think it was this way around or not. Can't remember this. So yeah, the first argument is the number of times we are going to be padding. So for example, if I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, and pad start 5, it would make sure that the length is at least 5 characters, and it would fill it with spaces. And I think the second argument here was the string that we are going to fill it with. So if I do underscore, it would fill it with underscore. But now, if I just want to repeat a string 5 times, I would do empty string, and then it repeats anything I give it 5 times. So for example, empty string dot pad start 5 and C would give me C. So you see that we have a couple of different methods we can use. We could do an iterator that just gives us an n amount of characters, or we could go even further with the functional-minded programming and do a couple of helper functions to get something like take 5, repeat C. So something like that. But we would be then creating this kind of domain language for ourselves, because take and repeat are not functions that exist in JavaScript just yet. But we could implement those. And sometimes it can be a really rational thing to do these kind of things if you want to create this kind of domain-specific language that helps you to solve some problems. But I suppose in this case we're not going to do that. I think I'm going with the array fill and join. And I think the array constructor doesn't need the new, so we can remove that too, so it can be omitted in JavaScript. But for clarity's sake, I think I'm going to be giving it a name, a descriptive name. So repeat character times, right? And then we have the character and times. And that would be new array of times, fill with character, and then join. So this would serve the purpose for now. So back where we started at, so we will concatenate the repeat character times, or the return value of it. So we will pass the character, and then we're going to be repeating it index times. Okay, let's see how we did. This should now work. Ooh, time is not defined. Times. Oh, I had a typo there. So expected ZPPGGG all the way up to U. Oh, I missed something. So, like that. Yeah, I think we would pass these tests. But there are some other rules too. So why are the R's all caps? Did I miss something? So Z is, oh, wait a minute. So E is caps here, but oh, it's not, at least if I'm looking at this example, the capitalized letter should not reflect capitalized letters here, or all caps here. So oh, I see. Haha, so this was my input. So expected, oh yeah, expected, this was my return value and to equal this, because, yeah, I know where the bug is now. So we'll need to lowercase this character, right? To get the, for example, this R was capitalized. So if I take this as an input and then just repeat it index times, it would output capital R's, right? So I'll need to lowercase it here. Okay, let's test it out. Let's see how we did. Oh, now we passed it. So that's that. Let's have a quick look at some of the responses and see if we find anything worth mentioning there. And of course, you can always name your functions better and name your variables better, but there's a kind of a threshold of how much you want to do that in these kind of assignments. But of course, in a, oh, you have ranked up, yay! So in these kind of scenarios, of course, it's debatable how far you can go, but in real life, of course, you want to do your best. Okay. Oh, JavaScript does have a repeat function. Really? I didn't know that. So, according to this, I could have just done C, that's repeat, 5. Really? Oh, I didn't know that. Now I know. Never needed that though. So yeah, the things you learn. This is why I love doing Codewars, because like I've been doing JavaScript for who knows how many years now, and still I learn these little nuggets of information when I'm doing this. Really, really nice. So otherwise similar as our solution. Map x index x to uppercase plus array index plus 1 join x to lowercase. Why are you doing index plus 1 if you're doing x uppercase there? Oh, I see. This does it other way around. So when we were doing the array of 5 C's and then we join it with an empty string. So we have an array of 5 C's and then we join it with empty string to get 5 C's. This solution is doing an array of 6 empty elements, right? And then joining them with C to get out the 5 C's. So yeah, many different ways to do the same thing. Okay, this is the for loop that I was expecting. So you loop through all the letters instead of doing the map to get the index, and otherwise it's really similar. Copying the array again, yes, please do that. Yeah, using the repeat. So yeah. Oh, now we're getting somewhere. So this is checking if so this has two nested for loops, and really kind of procedural way of doing things. It has the row variable where they are pushing stuff, and results are being pushed into the result, and the row is a string where you are adding more strings into. So you're just checking if it's the first letter or not, and then appending to that row variable. So yeah, straightforward answer. I suppose this is how it would have been taught to me at school, I suppose, 20 years ago or something. Well, not 20 years ago, 15 years ago. But we can do much better nowadays when we know stuff like functional programming a bit. What else do we have? So really similar. Oh, this is implementing the .repeat function. So I'm not sure what this reads. It looks like French. So so I guess I can't be sure that what this comment means and what these errors mean, but this pretty much looks like copy-pasted code to me, because they are doing bitwise stuff here. And you would probably not start to implement this kind of stuff to get just the repeat function out of it. So I'm guessing that this is just for the sake of copy pasting from a random website or from an official polyfill. That's also a possibility to get the repeat function. And now I wonder which JavaScript version introduced the repeat function. But yeah, well, I suppose it was something recent because I didn't know about it. But anyways, that's all for today. Thank you for watching and happy coding.